What's good, y'all? Sosa back in the building, man. And today, I got a very special banger lined up for y'all, man. I got the top 3 best rare point guards coming at y'all on NBA 2K21 current gen, y'all. First things first, I just want to say thank y'all so much to anybody who decided to come through. I truly appreciate y'all, man. I got 3 fire builds that I'm going to be bringing at y'all today, and they are only going to get better one after the other. So, before we get into the making, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new to the Rich Gang family, as well as any new supporters. Go ahead and put on post notifications so y'all can see when I upload every single day. And last but not least, you clicked on the video, so you might as well hit that like button as well. I would appreciate it. It helps me out so much. Now, when it comes to these builds, I'm going to go ahead and tell you first right here, there are definitely going to be a couple of different options that you can go about making them. But again, it really comes down to your preference for all of them. So first, when it comes to this two-way pass first point, of course, we got to go ahead and put it under the point guard position. But when it comes to the pie chart, now this is one that might honestly surprise you. You are going to go ahead and pick the one right down the middle, split between the playmaking as well as the defensive. Now, when it comes to the physical profile, this is completely up to y'all. But in my opinion, I'm telling you right now, the best one overall is going to be this fourth one with the 91 speed, 90 acceleration, and a pretty high vertical at that. So again, if you want to go ahead and pick the one with the fastest speed, which is the first, feel free to do so if that is what you want. Now, when it comes to the finishing side of things, go ahead and put the close shot to an 80. Driving layup's going to be an 84, and the driving dunk will be a 77. Then when it comes to the shooting, go ahead and put the midi to a 74. 3-point shot's going to go up to a 66, and the free throw will be an 82 for another 7 badges, y'all. Now, this is current gen, so we can definitely be hitting shots with the stats that we do have, especially if you grind this build out. Then when it comes to the playmaking side of things, y'all, we get 20 badges, and then on the defensive, at that, we also get 21. So this build is very overpowered when it comes to the defensive side, especially when you take into consideration what these physicals are going to look like once you grind out this build. So when it comes to the height, you can decide between 6'6", but then the ball handle is going to be over the 80, and honestly, that's going to change up the build name. So that is why I decide to go with the 6'7" version. And then when it comes to the weight, you really have to go base with what you like. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all right now, the weight is going to be a key factor in what changes the numbers on the physicals. So as long as you are happy with the physical numbers that you got, you are definitely going to be okay. Then when it comes to the wingspan, we got a couple options to go with here. You could go with the lowest, 79.0. That's going to bring up the shooting as much as it possibly can. Or you could go ahead and be a little bit more risky with the max wingspan. Then from there, you get the 76 ball handle. So therefore, at 99 overall, you will be getting the pro dribble moves on this build. Again, it comes down to what you like as well as the stats. In my opinion, I feel like it's always going to be best to max out your wingspan if you can do that and live with it. From here, the takeovers we get are going to be the lockdown, playmaking, as well as the slashing, y'all. So whatever you decide to go with, I'm telling y'all, you're going to be fine. But as y'all can see, we got the two-way pass first point, y'all. Now, let's go ahead and get into the next build that we got for y'all. And as y'all can see, we got the rebounding point. I'm telling you, the name says it all about this build. We are definitely going to be a threat when it comes to grabbing boards, especially more so on the defensive side of things, y'all. I tried to make this build as balanced as I possibly can, and I'm telling you, this is honestly going to be one of the most rare build names that you will see in the park, y'all. If you see this build, go ahead and give them a shout out, because I'm telling you, this build takes some grinding to do if you end up making it, but honestly, it will very well be worth it in the end. So if y'all made it this far, go ahead and let me know right now what y'all thought about that first build. Let's go ahead and get into the making of this one. Of course, we are going to go ahead and put it under the point guard position again. So when it comes to the pie chart, the one that you are going to pick is not going to be the one split right down the middle with the red and green. We're actually going to go ahead and pick the one with a little bit more defensive, and then we still get a good amount of the green on the pie chart. So we are going to be a threat when it comes to the shooting. Then when it comes to the physical profile, I would highly recommend right now, I'm telling you, either pick the second or the fourth physical profile. I'm telling you, these ones are going to be the ones that are going to pay off in the long run. You can pick the first if you want to, but I'm telling you, if you do that, you're losing out on the vertical as well as strength, and that is just something that I would not do with my preference. However, if you want to, go ahead and do so. Any build can be great if it's in the right hands. I'm just letting y'all know right now. Now, let's go ahead and get into these stats. Go ahead and put the mid-range shot up to an 80. 3-point shot's going to be a 79, and the free throw is going to go up to an 85. That right there is going to give us 14 shooting badges. So honestly, really clutch when it comes to the shooting on this build, especially with this kind of rare build name. Then when it comes to the finishing, y'all, go ahead and put the close shot up to an 83. Driving layup's going to be a 74. Driving dunk a 69. Standing dunk a 49. And then the post hook a 43 for 5 finishing. Now when it comes to the defense, y'all, go ahead and max out the defensive rebound. Offensive, put the block to a 49. Max out that steal. Go ahead and put the lateral quickness to an 87. Same thing with the perimeter defense, and then put the rest to the interior. Right here, as y'all can see, we get 24 badges. We don't need to put anything on the playmaking necessarily, but if you want to go ahead and change a few things about this build, go ahead and take the initiative to do so. I feel like you can definitely find something special out about this build. The height I'm going with is going to be 6'8". The weight is completely up to y'all, but I'm going to be going with 225. If you want to go with the lowest, go ahead and do so, but I feel like 225 is honestly going to be a really good mix when it comes to this. Now, when it comes to the wingspan, y'all, of course, if you want to have the most potential for grabbing the most boards, go ahead and max it out. It would not make sense to lower it unless you were going for better shooting stats. Now, as y'all can see, we got the lockdown takeover as well as the slashing, and this build is honestly going to get much better as you grind it out. So that is something you need to take into consideration. And as y'all can see, we got the rebounding point, Ben Simmons, and Penny Hardaway comparisons. Y'all already know that this is definitely going to be a goated build, especially in the right hands. Now, I got the final and last build for y'all. The two-way mid-range shot creator, y'all. But this is actually going to be out of the point guard. We have made it under the shooting guard, which is going to be a lot easier. But I'm telling you, this one is definitely going to be special. So if y'all made it this far to the third and final build, I just want to say thank y'all so much. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. If you made it this far, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and hit that like button. You are still watching, so you might as well do that as well. Now, last thing y'all got to go ahead and do, click that bell, y'all. Turn on post notifications so y'all can catch me every single day when I'm uploading, bringing y'all the most fire videos on 2K, y'all. Now, when it comes to the position, go ahead and put it under the point guard, of course. Then, when it comes to the pie chart, if you are thinking correctly, you probably thought not. You are going to go ahead and pick the one split right down the middle with the shooting as well as the defense. I know I caught y'all right there, caught y'all slipping a little bit, but it's okay. Now let's go ahead and get into the physical profile. So when it comes to this, y'all need to be very specific because any of these things can change up the build name. The one that I feel like is going to be best is, of course, the fourth one. Look at the balance that it gives you, especially if you're going to be grabbing boards, wanting to play some solid defense. That vertical is going to come in clutch. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be doing with these stats. When it comes to every single thing on here, even if you could put more in one area, do not do so. As you can see, I could put on more to my close shot, but if I do that, it's going to change up the build name, so leave as is. And then when it comes to the shooting, y'all, you could go ahead and pick whether you want 14 or 16 badges on this build. Pick whether you go towards your free throw or your post fade. Again, it comes down to what you like most. I'm going to go ahead and put it to my free throw for an 86 for 16 badges. Now, when it comes to the playmaking, y'all, go ahead and max out every single stat on this category. As long as you get the max amount of badges, you're definitely going to be okay. You can even adjust it to where you get more badges in other categories. So again, if that's something y'all want to consider to do, you should definitely try it. Now, y'all know that these stats as well as the badge count on this build is looking very fire, y'all. 3, 16, 13, and 19. Very good for a rare build at that. Now, when it comes to the weight, height, and the wingspan, these are going to be optional, but I'm telling you right now, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, you can go with what you feel like is going to be best when it comes to these stats, but I'm going to be going with 6'7". Then, when it comes to the weight, you could go with the lowest, and then on top of that, you get to choose the wingspan you want. So as long as you do not go over the 83 pointer, you are going to be able to contain the build name. So we do get lockdown, sharpshooting, playmaking, as well as shot creating takeover with this wingspan. If you want to make a couple of adjustments, go ahead and do so. The best takeover to pick, in my opinion, which is going to make it the most overpowered, is going to be the lockdown. And as y'all can see, we have made the two-way mid-range sharpshooter, y'all. Now, telling you, thank y'all so much for coming and showing y'all love as well as y'all support. I got another banger dropping for y'all tomorrow, man. But with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.